Good morning and welcome to today's verse. It comes to us from the Gospel of St. Matthew chapter 5 verse 44, and the word of the Lord reads as follows. But I say to you, love your enemy, bless those who curse you, do good to those who hate you, and pray for those who spitefully use you and persecute you. What a tough word to hear this morning. It is a word that is really just kind of goes against nature. The Lord is saying to us that we are expected, or He expects us to love our enemies. The verse before this particular verse, He says that you have heard it said that you are to love your neighbors but hate your enemies. But I say unto you that you are to love your enemies. It is something about the power of love that is so disarming to those that do not know the Lord, those that are not Christians. And there's nothing that really is a greater evidence to someone that is in the world than to see a person love another person who is their enemy, who has treated them, has spitefully treated them, who has abused them, that they would show them the love of God, irregardless of how they've been treated. There's nothing that is more disarming than that. And when you think about the power of love, it is the power of love that really brings about change. When the Lord said that the greatest commandment is this, is to love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, with all thy soul, with all thy mind, with all thy spirit, and to love thy neighbor as thyself. The power of love reaches far beyond anything that we could ever do. Anything that we would try to bring about change. There's nothing like the power of love. And so this really is what separates us, what identifies us as a child of God, that we're able to love in spite of. You can think about some of the times in judicial history when we saw someone mistreated, abused, maybe someone, their relative was killed by someone, and yet that person offered forgiveness and grace to the person that had committed the crime, and they said that they forgive them and that they love them. And nothing grips those that are watching this than to see that kind of response. Because the world, really, we expect you to treat the person the same way they treated you. But we thank God that God did not treat us that way. That while we were His enemies, that while we were yet still enemies, Christ died for us. Christ loved us and was obedient even unto death of the cross. So as God has loved us, let us love one another, to include our enemies. To God be the glory for the great things He has done. Amen.